Hi everyone, this is Maria Hocking, the UK Life Changer, here delivering episode 4 of the Happiness Hits, designed to bring you hope and inspiration with a view to transformation. In this episode, I am joined by the amazing Stephen Seki, who is a motivational speaker. So today we are going to investigate Stephen's brain and see what's in there and find some top tips for happiness, so that you can become a better person living a better life. So welcome, Stephen Seki.
Wow, Maria, it's good to be in touch again, honestly. Amazing.
It is.
Hi.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? And you know, for those watching this, Stephen is such an inspirational person. You know, he really, really is. And the wisdom that he has and what he does for people and the difference he makes in this world is just phenomenal. And he's just walking, talking proof that anybody can be happy no matter what they've been through. So Stephen, obviously we're talking about happiness here today, and I think part of your story is so inspiring. You know, sort of tell the viewers where you started out, if that makes sense. I know that you were born in Uganda.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, before I get started, I just had to give some credit where credit is due. For anyone who doesn't know my relationship with Maria, I actually started my motivational speaking after your mentorship. So it was you that I give credit to for why I started. And it was in deep Cornwall. You know, I lived in Cornwall for like 4 years or 5 years. And we became in touch. You know, the universe has a way of bringing amazing people together.
Yeah.
And you mentored me, you trained me, and now I'm in the world doing the work that I love. And for anybody out there that wants to become a speaker or has a dream in particular, honestly, Maria is the person. My own personal journey, like, yes, I was born in Uganda, in poverty. I can't say I lived a good life. I lived in poverty for 10 years without my mom. And I came to England without being able to read, write, or speak any English. And I started the educational system in England, which is not easy. You know, new culture, new people, everything was absolutely new. And I remember learning English was a very challenging thing for me. And we got to secondary school, and that's when I could really speak the language, but I had a massive African accent. You can imagine school in this country is horrible, kids, peer pressure. And they ask every single kid, what do you want to become? And I couldn't think of anything because I was still, my learning was still in primary school. But here I am in year 9, year 10, being asked, what do you want to become? And the only thing I could think of was farming, because in my village in Uganda, we were farmers. That's what I knew. I thought, I'm going to become a farmer in England, in London. And someone in my class that day said the word pharmacist. And I thought a pharmacist was a fancy word for a farmer. So with confidence, I said, I want to become a pharmacist. And I remember my teachers telling me, you can't become a pharmacist. You can't speak the language. You haven't got any grades. And I took that as a personal challenge. I said, you know what? I'm going to become a pharmacist. And basically today, I am a pharmacist. I am a motivational speaker. I did it. And I can't say it was easy. It was very challenging. And I had to overcome a lot of things, which I hope me and you can share today in this video, Maria. But yes, that's my story summarized.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes your knowledge so valuable, Stephen. You've come from such a humble place, you know, but you're still incredibly humble yourself, you know, and you share your knowledge with such passion. And so if we look back at your journey and, you know, what you have personally learned, and I think that the first question I want to ask you is, you know, given your journey, what do you believe about happiness?
I believe that happiness is a mindset. Wow. I can tell you now point blank, and this is not a word of a lie. In some moments in my life, I think I was much happier living in poverty.
Wow.
Simply because I always tell people I've been very, very poor in my life. No, I've been very poor in my life, but I've never felt poor because I always had my life. I always had my health. I always had my, you know, at least 1 meal a day. I always felt rich.
Yeah.
And I realized that when I came to England, I found myself seeing what other people had. And I found myself being envious and wanting the things they had. And I worked really hard to become a pharmacist because I wanted to buy the expensive things. And I can tell you, for people that know me, when I became a pharmacist, the very first thing I bought of any significance was a big expensive car. because I thought this would make me really, really happy.
Yeah.
And after a year or so, I realized this car was not making me happy. You know, it wasn't the car. And I think it took me a long time to realize that it's not the money or the things that's going to make you happy. It has to come from within. And actually now I make much less because I'm not a pharmacist anymore. I make much less money. I'm much happier because I found the work that brings me purpose. And that's what happiness is about. It's a mindset. It's what you think makes you happy that makes you happy, if that makes sense.
Totally. You know, I think these days you're talking about material possessions. I think it's really easy to believe that, you know, the biggest car will make us happy, the best house, the most branded clothes, and we've all fallen into that trap, you know. And it's so easy because we're surrounded by it. But actually, yes, to be happy, we kind of have to go within. And so obviously, Stephen, you know, we're going through a lot of challenge in the world right now, you know, and I know me and you before this were speaking about the challenges that we've been experiencing, you know, because even as super happy, positive people, we go through stuff and it's affected all of us. But if there was somebody watching this right now who maybe has been through challenge in their life or who is struggling right now to believe that they'll ever be happy, maybe as a result of COVID or as a result of what they've been through in their past, what would be your advice to them?
To be honest with you, my heart goes out to everybody because we're all stuck in this situation and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And what I always speak from is a place of experience. Like I've lived in conditions that, you know, a lot of people haven't lived in. And even now during the COVID, I was telling you in terms of my work and, you know, people giving me opportunities. Since March, all of that has dried up. And I'm sure a lot of people are in that same situation. You know, I've worked sometimes in a pharmacy and I've seen people being made redundant and they don't know how they're going to pay the next bills. And you wonder how am I going to get through each day. But to be honest with you, one of the things that I've done to help myself get through it is that I've kept a schedule. Even the days when no one's employing me or giving me an opportunity, I'm still up like I'm going to work. So I'm still up creating my social media content for people to, you know, to help them every single day. I'm still up every day writing content or writing emails or volunteering, like whatever I can do, I'm making sure that I'm keeping myself busy because one of the worst habits you can get into is sleeping in late, not showering, not making your bed, little things like that. You'll find yourself that after a week or so, you will just give up on life completely because you think, what's the point of trying? But actually, if you keep a regular schedule of things that you have to do, even if you don't enjoy it, just every single day you wake up, do the same things, you'll find that time will pass and you think your mindset will keep ticking over. Even if you're applying for jobs, no one's employing you. It's about keeping on trying and keeping your mindset positive because if you live with people, there will still people that need you. So if you got kids, if you got a partner, if you got your pets, those things still need you. You know, you know, you can still contribute in some way. You know, rather than feel sorry for yourself, ask yourself, what can I do for my partner? If they're still working, can I make life easier for them? If I've got kids, how can I make their, you know, how can I make their mindset positive in this situation? Because it's all about what you're doing, you know, rather than kind of feeling. I always tell people, don't think about you. Think about someone else. You know, the best way to help yourself is to help someone else. So for me, I'm always serving other people. So every single day I wake up and, you know, Maria, you're on my social media and I make a positive video every single day because I'm helping someone else get through their day. And automatically that makes me happy. And then I keep doing it every single day. And that's how you do it, I think.
Yeah, and I think that that's great advice, you know, and I think the two main things to pull out from that, like you said, are the fact that you have a schedule, you have a routine, and you get up every single day. And the big thing that came from that for me, which I firmly agree with, is thinking about other people more than ourselves. And I think that's so true. And something else that really resonated with me there was like giving your mind a bit of a focus. And there's this really sort of great story. You know, if you give a small child a felt tip pen and no paper and leave the room, what's it going to do? It's going to colour the walls in. If you give it a focus and if you give it a piece of paper, it's going to colour the paper. You know, and our minds are a bit like that. If we haven't got a focus, they'll just run wild, you know, and sort of scribble everywhere. And that can lead to sort of stress and frustration. So that is great advice. And you know, through all this, Stephen, as well, there's a lot of people I've been speaking to recently that have been talking about, you know, maybe they've lost their job, they've lost their self-belief. And I know that you are a huge fan of self-belief. I have seen you speaking. I have watched your YouTube videos. I have seen you, you know, entertaining whole crowds and hundreds of people, sharing your positive mindset and inspiring them. So, you know, I think that we all lose belief in ourselves sometimes. We all lose belief that things are going to get better. And I think right now, a lot of people are losing confidence in themselves. What do you think the key ingredients to self-confidence are?
Oh, that's a difficult question, because confidence is such, it's a fragile thing, confidence. You know, one day you can be on top of the world, you know, you could think I couldn't feel any better. And then the next day you could feel as low as you can possibly feel.
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's finding the equal balance.
Right.
So that when things go well, you don't get carried away with it.
Right.
And when things go bad, you don't get carried away with it. Just know that it's all just life happening. It's nothing to do with you. I would say life is nothing to do with you. It's just happening to you. So your confidence, don't base it on how things are going, because you can't always control every little scenario. For example, if you've been fired, that's not your fault. There's nothing you could have done about that. So you know, if you keep your confidence there in the middle, you think, okay, today I got fired. Instead of going down there, let me stay here. How could I make myself go back up there? So then you kind of have a base always to fall. Because a lot of people, when things are going well, they get so carried away, you know, and they start bragging and, you know, acting a different way.
Yeah.
So when you come back down, those same people that you're bragging to or about, they're watching you and they're laughing at you. Unfortunately, you've made enemies, and it's not on purpose. You're just, you know, sharing your happiness. But people, not everybody's happy for you. Like for me, I don't share my happiness with everybody. I share my happiness with those that are closest to me, because I know they will be happy for me. But I know that if I share with everybody, a lot of those people are not your friends. They don't really care about you. So those same people are the ones that are going to make you feel bad, you know? And you're going to notice that when things are going badly, you're going to make a lot of new friends. And it'll be people who are, I don't know if you've been here, Maria. It's this phone call. Oh, you're going, oh, really? You got fired? Oh, sorry to hear that. Inside, they are ecstatic that you got fired.
I know what you're talking about.
You know how it's like.
I know.
But if you share the same conversation with somebody that's been with you and is for you, oh, you lost your job? Listen, don't worry. It's going to be okay. This is what we need to do to get you back where you need to be. You know, there's two different kinds of people. And your confidence, don't attach it to things or situations. You must always keep your confidence streamlined. So again, this feeds back into having a schedule. If you got like a regular schedule, it doesn't change. If you're up at 8 o'clock every day, whether you got a job or not, you're up at 8 o'clock every day, and you're going to do something with that time. Whether it's applying for, you know, whenever I can't find work, I treat my unemployment as my job. I wake up and spend those 8 hours either learning new skills, or applying for jobs, and then at 5 o'clock I'll still clock out. You know what I mean?
I love that. I love that. Treating unemployment as a job. I love that. Yeah.
That's not free time. That's time for you to do work. Get up like you're going to work, make your breakfast, prepare your kids, and still treat those 8 hours. Have your lunch break at 1 o'clock if that's what you do at work, you know? Treat it as a job. You know, take responsibility. If you stay in bed until midday, that's not what you usually do, but that can easily become your new habit. And then all of a sudden, even if you get a job, you can't function back in the job environment because you're now used to sleeping until, you know, midday. And then, whereas for me, if I go to work, I'm used to being at work, because at home, I'm still working. So nothing changes. I'm very even killed. Nothing really goes up and down. I'm always at that stage.
Yeah, that's great. And I like what you say about that. You know, that what did you say, that confidence, not that confidence, the situations aren't you, is what's happening to you, or you used a particular phrase that was very powerful.
The situations around you are nothing to do with you.
That's it.
You didn't cause them, so you have to treat them as if that is just happening, not to me. It's happening to my neighbor, to my friend. It's just life happening. So
sorry, interrupted you there. What do you feel, how does that impact our confidence when we recognize that we can stay on this kind of line that you're talking about, and we don't have to go up and we don't have to go right down? How does that impact our confidence when we can live like that?
That's the term for that is called humble.
Mm.
You know, people always say that person is so humble. You know, you say like big superstars, you know, Anthony Joshua. People always look at him and say, he's a superstar. He's a millionaire, he's a boxer. But when he speaks on TV, people are like, oh my God, he's so humble with it.
Yeah.
It's because he's so even killed. You know, he's the same person he was when he was poor. Nothing changed. When he went to prison, I'm sure he was still the same guy that was a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what it means, you know. It's not your confidence staying there. It's you remaining humble in good times and bad times, because life has made many, you know, during COVID, I'm sure a lot of millionaires have become bankrupt.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people that were down there have become millionaires. So life happened that way, you know. It's just, if you get carried away with it, you'll be back down soon enough. Don't worry, your time will come. So if you stay here, you're fine regardless, whether you're rich or poor.
Yeah.
The mindset is the same. You still find the same level of happiness. You know? But I think a lot of people attach happiness to success and money. Right. And then when they have it, they're envious, they're hateful, and then that makes you feel so, you know, envy is a dangerous thing because, and I think that's what social media creates in people. You will see your neighbor, your friend getting a new car, and they're just happy with it because they've got something they've worked hard for. Yeah. And they've got this thing, and you don't know the sacrifices they've made to achieve it. You see them doing that thing, and you're just so, you want it for yourself. Yeah. And I think I don't think a lot of people have ever asked a millionaire, how did you become a millionaire? And if that person told you their journey and told you, are you willing to do the things I did to become a millionaire? A lot of us would be like, no, thank you very much. That person has, you know, they've sacrificed incredibly to be in that position. And all we see is the, you know, the iceberg effect. We see the little bit at the top, you know, the success, but we don't see all the other things that have to suffer through to get to that stage. And for me, it's important to keep your mindset the same all the way through, because then even in the hard times, you can find that gratitude to carry you to the next stage of your life without changing too much about or feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah, and gratitude. I know that you speak about gratitude a lot, Stephen. Tell me, massively, is it a massive part of who you are and your work? Why do you think gratitude is so important?
I think gratitude is just something that it can carry you through the darkest times. Yeah. I know that in every moment of my darkest time, being grateful is the only thing that's carried me through. And for me, my gratitude is actually connected to my religion. I'm a Christian, and that's where it comes from. It's the ability to, in the darkest times, find something positive to carry you. You know, sometimes it's not even a massive thing. When I was in poverty, the fact that I was getting one meal a day, that got me through the day, because there was something to look forward to at dinner. I was gonna get one meal a day. That was something just every single day to be grateful for. Yeah. And I remember, you know, when I was in school, I was massively bullied. You know, I had a massive African accent. My clothes were not nice. And I remember what carried me through was, you know what? These kids are laughing at me. They're beating me up. But I'm getting an education. I've got a roof over my head. You know, I have clothes. You know what I mean? Little things like that. Yeah. Allowed me to go through the dark times. When I was at university and I was failing, I thought, I'm at university. I didn't think I'll get this far. Let me get up every day and give it my best, because I'm here now. So, you know, what have I got to lose? And it's the same now. I'm unemployed. No one is really calling me for, you know, speaking opportunities. No. But I think, you know what? I've got a home, you know. Yeah. I've got a meal every day, you know, I'm okay, you know. I've got a partner that's supporting me right now. It's okay. And you just keep finding little things to get you through to the next stage, because you have to believe that this won't last forever. Yeah. It's in this moment, this is what you're in. You know, it's difficult, but it's not forever. It's going to pass. Yeah. But before it passes, you have to sit in it and find a way out of it. Yes. Because we live in a world where no one is coming to save you. It's completely up to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I agree with you. Gratitude has changed my life on many an occasion and got me through dark times. But if there's somebody watching this right now who's finding that shift hard, because we've all been in a place where we're focusing on the negative, where everything's gone terribly wrong. What advice would you give to someone who's like really struggling to make that transition from like the negative mindset towards gratitude? I mean, is there anything they could do in a day or that would help lift them? What is there a practice or a strategy they can use, or is it just literally being grateful?
No, it's not just about being grateful. Because a lot of people don't practice gratitude, and I know this. I'm not saying this to be insulting to anybody, but I feel like every single person that's grown up in England or in a first world country, they don't see what they have. Unfortunately, I always tell people growing up in England is like going hunting on a full stomach.
Yeah.
No matter what happens, there is always a service you can get for somebody to help you. And if you want to practice gratitude every single day, it's something simple you can do is literally just write down 3 things every single day that you're grateful for, no matter how small.
Right.
Get up every single morning and write down 3 things, 3 different things every single day. It could be, I can see, I've got a heart in my chest that is beating to keep me alive. I'm not telling my heart to beat, it's just beating to keep me alive.
Yeah.
I've got my siblings, I've got my mom, I've got my partner, I've got my health. 3 things is not a lot.
No.
If you do that action every single day, I promise you, after 30 days, it will become a habit. And you wake up every single morning, and before you get riled up or upset, or before you kick up at somebody, you'll be thinking, actually, I'm grateful to have you in my life. You will start looking at the world in a completely different way.
Absolutely. So it's like looking through at the world through different lenses, isn't it? You start to see different things, you start to experience different things, and and I also believe that you start to get different opportunities because maybe you give off a warmth or an energy that people can respond to. And I think amazing things have happened in my life, and I know it's the same for you, since you've been practicing the art of gratitude. And and talking about gratitude and happiness, I'd like to ask you as well. I believe that we are born happy, and then somewhere along the way we lose ourselves a little bit, and I think the lucky ones get to find their way back home to that happiness. Is that something you believe, or have you got a different take on that?
100%. We're all born absolutely happy.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that we want out of life is because somebody's told us that will make you happy. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Honest to God. A lot of the things that we want out of life, most of the time, we don't even want it. And the only thing that I can say that, because I always look back on it and I think, why did I do that? Is getting that brand new car. I remember not even having 6 months of work experience, and I went to a car dealership and I said, I want that car. And the guy said, do you want one that's secondhand? I said, no, I want a brand new one. I want a new car smell.
Yeah.
And I reflect back on that and I think, why did I do that? Why did I do that thing? And I thought, I did it because I thought that's what successful people do. Right. It's not what I wanted. I don't care about things that are material. I don't wear any brands, but I did that thing because it's what society told me I need to do to be happy. And a lot of people go to higher education, they get jobs, they buy expensive things that they don't even care about because somebody else has convinced you this is what it takes to be successful. Yeah. Like, you can be successful in a job that doesn't pay you well. Are you happy in your every single day in life? And a lot of kids, this is where it gets sad for me, Maria, because I work a lot of schools.
Yeah.
And I think primary school, a lot of kids pick up these things. They start to identify with what things are valuable. Yeah. Because when kids start school, they have no idea what is valuable and what's not valuable. So they go to school and then they'll be like, well, my friend has a Louis Vuitton bag. Yeah. Oh, that guy that's wearing Adidas, the latest ones. Oh, he's got an iPhone. And then they start to switch on to what the world is telling you. Yeah. You don't have this expensive thing, so therefore your place in society is not very good. And then kids come home with this anxiety and mental health problems. And then I think a lot of kids that grow up in families where the parents can't afford this thing, then start getting angry towards the parent for not affording that thing. Yeah. but they don't see that their parent is doing absolutely everything to keep a roof over their head. And this is where gratitude comes from, because the kids don't practice gratitude because they haven't learned from somewhere. They go home with the wrong mindset, looking at their life the wrong way. But imagine if you went home at a young age and seeing your mom or your dad or whoever's looking after you, and you know that person went to work for 10 hours in a job they hate, but they're doing it for you. Can you imagine how full your heart will be with pride that my dad is doing everything to pay for these bills? He can't buy me the expensive iPhone, but he's doing everything to keep me safe and look after me. Can you imagine how? But a lot of people have the mindset, you know, they just think, you can't buy me that, you know, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's how it is.
I know where you're coming from, and and I think you're absolutely right. We are born happy, and then we see these things, we go through these experiences, we compare ourselves to others, what we have or haven't got, and we forget to appreciate what we have. And I think what you're talking about here is all those things take away our happiness, or we feel like it takes away our happiness. And I guess the key is recognizing that those external things will never make us happy, but actually what will make us happy is going within, so that we don't live a life without. Is that what you're kind of saying?
It is. And I think the unfortunate thing is a lot of people don't autocorrect. This is the attitude they carry into society, into adulthood. You know, it's okay for you to think like that as a child, and you think, okay, when I grow up, my mindset will change. But a lot of adults have the same mindset. You know, somebody will buy a big expensive house and they will show it to the whole world. Look at me, I'm doing really well. And then the person that, you know, can't afford to buy their own home will start feeling sorry for themselves because they can't afford a big expensive house. But then they're not looking around them. You're not seeing the picture of where you are. You know what I mean?
I get you.
You live in a place where, for example, this is why this country, I think, is one of the best countries in the world. You can have a dream, anybody. You can be 50 years old and say, you know what, I have this dream. And the only thing that you have to do is work hard to achieve that dream. There's no one telling you can't do it. There's no one telling you that you're a woman, you can't do that job. There's no one telling you because of the color of your skin, you can't achieve this thing. Literally, you can just choose to say, I want to do this, and you go out there and you do it. Now, there's a lot of people around the world who do not have that same freedom. If you took a moment to see that and just think, actually, I'm in a country where all I have to do is wake up at 5 in the morning and work harder than anyone else, and I'll achieve this big dream. That's all I have to do. And you can, but a lot of people don't see that. They just want to. We are in this society of people want immediate gratification. They just want it now, today, right now. And I think it's so important to see the bigger picture. Every morning when you wake up, look around you. What people are in your life looking after you, looking out for you, caring about you. Because when you feel so for yourself, you almost disregard their contribution to your life. You know, somebody loves you very, very much. Are you taking time to say thank you for loving me? I know I'm not an easy person to love, but you're with me in this hard time. You know what I mean? So if you pay attention to what's around you, your eyes will open. And I think it's easier to be employed, or it's easier to look to find opportunities if you're able to see a bigger picture. But if you're focused tunnel vision on your problems, that's all you're going to see, and nothing about your life will ever change.
I agree with you. That is great advice. Absolutely fantastic. And you are so full of wisdom. I love it. I could, we could literally talk all day about this stuff, couldn't we? It's amazing. And I know that you also, sorry?
You can do it as part 1 and part 2, couldn't you, really?
Well, if you part 1 to part 10 or something.
A little series going, Maria and Stephen forever.
Changing the world. And I know, Stephen, obviously you work a lot in schools, and you've spoken in so many schools. I keep seeing these new ones pop up on YouTube. At the moment for you because of COVID, but massively successful in schools. And I guess you're seeing a lot of the problems, that sort of teenagers have with mindset, and a lot of the things they believe about themselves that aren't true. And I know that you help them believe in themselves and achieve their dreams. And so the last thing I'd like to talk about really is achieving your dreams, because I know that you believe anything is possible with the right mindset and the right amount of work. And so if there was a teenager watching this right now, or teenagers or parents of teenagers, what would be the advice that you would give them generally about achieving their dreams and living a happy life?
Ooh, difficult question to finish off from Maria. I would say for the teenager themselves, I'll start there because I think that's where it is. If anybody wants to achieve their dream, honest to God, I think a lot of people get caught, in school, the school system is designed to reward people that achieve a certain thing.
Yeah.
So people that achieve the good grades, for example, that's who the school celebrates.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what the school doesn't tell you is that the school is rated on how many people get those good grades. And those good grades are not necessarily transferable to who will become the most successful. I will tell you this, Maria. In all my friendship groups, whether in school or university, I was the lowest of all my friends. I've got the worst grade, right? But I was able to achieve the same success, even more than some of them, simply through hard work.
Yes.
You cannot, no matter how gifted you are, and I think this is where a lot of students that are brilliant. I've seen so many clever students, and it comes naturally to them to do well in school.
Yeah.
And they think that mindset is the same in real world. But it's not. Just because you're good on paper in the real world, you still have to go for interviews. And at the interviews, the people you're going to be up against are people like me, the low achieving students with the right mindset who have been putting in that work for a lot longer than you have been. Now, in the real workplace, the bosses, because I do interviews now, I know what we look for. What we look for is someone with tenacity, determination, resilience. We don't care about your grades. The grades just get you into the door. That's it. Once you're in there, what are the things that you've been through, that you've done, that make you somebody that we want to have to work for us? Because most companies want someone that's not gonna break down under pressure. They want somebody that's resilient and determined and hardworking. Now, if you've been somebody that's not been working your best all your life, all of a sudden you're gonna find there's no jobs out there. Oh my God, don't go to higher education. And I think this is what a lot of people are telling their kids. There's no jobs out there. But the thing is, those kids that are coming out of school or university, they don't have the right mindset to compete. So that's why they're not getting the jobs. It's not because there's no jobs out there. It's because you can't compete. So if you get into the habit of working hard early in your life, by the time it comes to applying for jobs, you're already 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And I think this is why I think I caught up to other people. Because even today, Maria, a lot of people finish university and they stop working. I've got my degree, I've got my job, end of story. But for me, when I finished university, that was day one. I still wake up early. I still put in that work. I still won't be worked. And a lot of people wonder, what are you doing? We made it, And, like all my friends, all they talk about is football, movies, TV shows, box sets. I'm not about that, because they're finished, they're already finished. But I'm still trying to self-develop. And if you're that person that gets into that habit, because people think that I've only been doing this kind of thing since me and you started, but I've been doing it since school. I'm obsessed with self-development. I can't help it. I read books, I watch videos, I meet people like yourself. I'm always learning, always growing. And that's how you get better than everybody else. That's how and for parents, I think it's important not to put too much pressure on the child, because they're already under so much pressure from themselves and the school. If you ever go into a school, they're so pressurized, and you know how it is in school. You're in set, top set, bottom set.
There's always comparison, isn't there?
If you're down here, your confidence, self-esteem is not great. If you're up here, you think you're the boss. Now, if you're a parent of somebody that's, towards, down here, that person is already under so much pressure. And they come home and the school tell you, your son, your daughter, blah, blah, blah. And then because you care about them and their future, what are you going to do? You're going to pile more pressure onto them. And that whole thing is going to crumble because they haven't learned how to, to fix their mind to be like, all right, these people just want what's best for me. And they give up. Now, if your child is still at the top, like we spoke about earlier, Maria, the ego, self-esteem is so high. They think they don't have to do anything more than that. They just think, I'm bright. What, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
So that poor child as well,
Yeah.
they will go through the school system, come out at the other end, become disillusioned because they're like, well, where's all the millions I was meant to make? My school told me I was going to become successful, you know?
Yeah.
So then, because in the real world, no one cares about your grades anymore, your self-esteem goes down, and then you find yourself at the bottom. Can you see?
Yes.
It's about teaching your child to remain even and be humble. If you're not doing good, work yourself up to here. And good on it. If you're doing great, bring yourself down here. And know that even if I'm bright, I have to work harder than the people down there because they want my spot. That's how honestly, that's how it's been. You know, if your child is bright, bring them back down to earth and teach them that there is someone out there less gifted that will take your spot unless you learn how to work hard and push yourself and self-development. And I think if you marry those two things together, because I think a parent's job, for me personally, is to teach your child to have the right mindset.
Yes, absolutely.
How to cope with life. Because unfortunately, no one teaches us how to cope with life, with the pressures that are going to come. And I think once you're a certain age, your parents can support you or help you. And Maria, I've met so many people in their 20s, some in their 30s, who can't cope with life. And they keep running back home to mom and dad because that's their safety place. And it's because they've never learned how to cope with the pressures that life comes with. But if you teach a child how to be humble, tell them that life will go up and down, but you must always remain here. If you can't find a job, keep doing those things the good things. Don't get attracted to the bad things. And if you got a job, make sure you're in that office every single day producing all your effort. That's how you remain. So for me, it's something I've learned through life, but unfortunately, a lot of people learn it later on. And I think it's something that we all just have to learn. It's not just for kids or parents, it's for everybody. And I think that's where I tell people, find your center and keep it. Even if you're doing well, there's no need to show off. Just, you know, that's your heart. Give it to people who are close to you, and then just keep doing the same things you've been doing all your life, and you'll find that more doors will open. And when you're in those doors, you'll be like, well, I deserve it. I've been working so hard for 10, 20 years. This is where I belong because I've been putting in that work consistently this time.
Great words there from you, Stephen. You know, knowing that if you're at the top, you belong there because you've worked for it. It's been absolutely incredible to speak with you today. So if people want to get in contact with you, if they want to find out more about what you do, what is the best way to do that?
Anybody that wants to find my positive videos and social media, I'm a social media guru. I'll teach you. Maria, I wonder if you're on TikTok. TikTok is a new thing that's happening. I'm on there. I'm on Instagram. Type in just Stephen Seki everywhere. You'll find me, my platform. Feel free to reach. I love people. I love helping people. And me, you discussed earlier, I'm now a coach. So for me, that wants more of this kind of conversation, I'm available. So let me know. You know, contact details on my social media platforms. Reach out. I'm always going to be here.
That's brilliant. And it's been amazing to speak with you today, Stephen. Absolutely amazing. And we will speak again very soon. Thank you for everything you shared with us today. And I'm sure you've given people hope, inspiration with their transformation.
Thank you, Maria. Take care.
Okay, and you. Bye.
Bye.